guys, welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers, the old subscribers, the new ones. Thank you so much, guys. You guys really do rock. I appreciate your likes, the watch, the comment, the criticism, everything on my channel. I really do appreciate a lot. So if you're just passing by, thank you so much. If you are new, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe hit on the subscribe button. It actually takes you nothing to subscribe. And if you find this video helpful, please do not hesitate to like this video. And then if you're having any comments regarding this video or any other sewing problems, you can actually drop a comment down for me on the comment section. This is actually a quick one. This is a trendy triangle hip dress. That's what I'm going to be teaching you how to draft today. It's really trendy. It's really trendy, as you can see the picture up here. So that's what I'm going to be teaching. It's trendy. You can try it out. This is for a change. Instead of this normal fitted dresses, you can try this triangle hip dress out. You can actually try it out. It's really simple and really easy and quick to make. So it's trendy, so just give it a try. So I'm going to be drafting it now. So I'm going to be inputting my lines on this, my pattern paper. The full length of my pattern paper, that's what I'm going to be using as my gown length, which is actually 36 inches. So I'm going to be using the entire length for my measurement. So, and this trendy triangular hip dress is like the shoulders. I'm going to be measuring the shoulder measurement. The sleeve is actually cut together sleeve. It's cut together sleeve. So when in doing this, you put your tape at the center back and then measure from your center back to how long you actually want the sleeve to be. If you want it shorter, you stop here. If you want it longer, so it depends on how you want it. So for this, I'm going to be using the entire lines of my pattern paper, and what I actually have here is 12 inches, so that I'm going to be using it for my sleeve. That's the sleeve and the shoulder is joined together. So the next thing I'll do now, I'll come down from this point. I'll measure 1 inch from the top. So I'll measure 1 inch. So I'll just roll the 1 inch here like this. So this is my 1 inch. So from this 1 inch now, I will be measuring my chest line for this dress. And chest line, basically, like standard, is usually 8 inches. So I'll just use 8 inches for my chest line. And then from my shoulder line to waist measurement, that's from this point, from this shoulder line to those points, which is my waist measurement, I'm using 17 inches. So this is 17 inches. Then from my shoulder to hip, to my hip, basically, I've actually been using this method and it has been working for me. What I normally do, I'll measure between 8 and 9 inches from my waistline. So that's where I'm actually going to be imputing my hip measurement. So for this, I'll be making use of 8 inches. So that's my hip line. So this is my hip line now. I'll be making use of 8 inches. And then the full length measurement of my dress, I told you initially. So I'll just leave 1 inch down and use it like the hem line at the down part. I now have all my lines imputed here. My shoulder line, my chest line, my hip line, my waistline, and then this is my hip line, and then this is my hem line. So the next thing now, for this dress, I'm going to be drafting the back and the front together because it doesn't have a zipper. So for the neck, I'll be making use of 3.5 inches. So I've measured 3.5 inches like this. And then for the front neck, I'll be making it a V-neck. You can decide to make it a round neck, whatever type of neck is your choice, so you can decide to. So for the V, like what I normally say, you can actually measure your V neck because of the cleavage part, because if you don't measure, it can actually be tricky. You can cut and then at the end of the day it will be sharp and the cleavage, everything will be showing. You might not want that, so you might want to measure it. So for this, I'm going to be making use of 5 inches for the neck depth. So I'll just mark it like this. I'll use my ruler. So this is for the front neck. So I'll just take it like this from the 3.5 point. That's the 3.5. I'll be slanting it down here. So I'll slant it like this. And then for the back neck, like I told you, I said I'll be doing the back and the front together since this is a draft. So I'll be using 1 inch for the back neck. So I just take it like this. And the back, I'm going to be making it a round neck. So I'll just like a curve. So I'll just do it like this. So this is the back neck, and then this is the front neck. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, from this shoulder line, like I told you, I said I'm using the entire length. That's 12 inches. So I'll be using the entire 12 inches for my arm, for the arm. That's both the shoulder and the hand together. So from this point now, I'll leave this point, and then I'll come back now to the chest line. So for the chest line, for the measurement that I'll be making my bust for this dress, I'll be making use of 10 inches, which is 40. When you divide 10 into 4, you have, when you divide 40 into 4, you have 10 inches. So this is the 10 inches. I'm not going to be imputing any allowance because since this is a draft. So when I'm done, I'll just show you how to add the allowance on the side of the draft. So this is this. So from this point now, this 10 inches point, I'll just take my tape like this and then measure, come in by 2 inches here, which is this point, by 2 inches like this. So I'll take my curve like this. So from this point now, I'm going to be making this curve like this. That's from this point now to come to join to my 2 inches. So I'll join it to this line. So you can see this is my 2 inches that I made. So this is just to determine your curve. You can decide to do it however you want to. So it's just for me to help me to know that when I get to this point, then I'll start slanting it downward. So that's just the essence of the 2 inches. You can decide to use 2.5, depends on how big and small you want the stomach area of the dress to be. So the next thing I'll do now, from the midpoint, from the midpoint of that between the chest line and the waistline, I'll be coming to the middle, which is 5 inches. This is the center, which is 5 inches. I just mark it like this and then just curve it. So this is just to help me to know how to curve, to make my curve. Then when I get to that 5 inches point, I'll stop and then come to the waistline and then measure 2 inches upward, and then I'll mark the 2 inches. You can decide to use 1.5. I think I should just use 1.5. That's from the waistline point. I'll show you the essence of this line now, and then I'll make my curve up to this point. So I just make my curve like this. So when I get to this point, so this is where the trick is now for this triangle hip dress. So my hip measurement, this is between my waistline and the hip line. So the next thing I'll do now, I'll take my tape and then come to the middle. You remember I used 8 inches for the hip line. For the hip, that's between the waist and the hip, I used 8 inches. So I'll come to the midpoint of 8 inches. And what I have, when you divide it, you have 4 inches. So I'll just take I'll take my ruler like this, and then just make a line like this, just to know the midpoint. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be imputing my hip measurement. Remember the 1.5 inch that I left here? I didn't join it, I just left it first. So the next thing I'll be doing now, take the hip measurement. For this dress, you can actually measure the hip, how bogus you want the triangle to be. You can measure it, or else if you don't measure it, it might be too big and it won't be proportional, it won't have any fitting. So you can decide to measure. So for this, I'll be making use of 11.5 inches. So this is the 11.5 inches at the middle here. So I'll take my tape, my ruler now. So this is the essence of this 2 inches that I left initially from the waistline. So I'll be drawing my triangle now to this point. I'll take it to the 11 inches point, and then this is where another trick is for this dress. When I get to this point, I'm not going to be bringing it like this, or else I won't get my triangle curve. So for this, I'll be removing 1 inch from the 11.5 inch that I made here. I'll just remove 1 inch like this and make it 10.5. So this is just like basic, just like standard. Just bring it like this. You can see my triangle form is already there, and then I'll take this down, but I'm not going to be bringing it down, because if I bring it down like that, the curve at the down, it will not be effective. So I'll reduce again from this point. You remember I reduced 1.5 inch from here. That's from the hip line measurement. So the next thing I'll do now, I'll take it like this. For this point now, I'll be using 9 inches for this down part. So I'll reduce another 1.5 inches again to give me 9. This was 10 and this is 11.5. This is 10.5 and then this is 9 inches. So another 1 inches. So I'll be bringing it down to this point. So I'll just take it like this and then slant it, and then slant it to this point. You can see my triangle, you can see the curve. If you want it tighter at the down, you can still decide to still reduce it more. Then for this down part, you don't slant it down like this. You make this point straight at the hemline, so when you fold, it will be straight. So you just make the remaining inch straight. So this is this. So this is it for my armhole. For the armhole, like I told you, I used 8 inches for the armhole. So that's what I'm going to be using to couple it. So for you to add the allowance to it now, adding the allowance to it to this dress. So I'll just take my tape like this. And basically for this parts, I don't really advise you to really add any much allowance to it, because the emphasis of this dress is actually on the hip. So but you can decide to just have half an inch. And then when you get to this point, you can add 1 inch. So I'll be using this entire length. So I'll just take my scissors, and then I'll bring it back to this point. I'm not going to be adding any allowance to that down part. I just bring it here so you can see what I have here. So the next thing I'll do now, cut it out for you to see. So for this, I'll cut out the back neck, which is really not going to really be necessary here. So if it's the back, this is what you're going to be having. This is what you're going to be having. Sorry, I forgot to slant the shoulder. I actually forgot to slant the shoulder. I was supposed to do that. So the shoulder slants, I'll be using half an inch. You can decide to use 1 inch to slant the shoulder. I knew I was missing something, but I really could not remember. So I'll slant the shoulder to this point. So I'll slant my shoulder. So this is my shoulder slant. And then for this point, if what you have remaining after slanting the shoulder, what I have remaining after slanting my shoulder, I have 7 inches because I use 1 inch. I say you can use between half an inch and 1 inch. So if what you have for your shoulder, that's for the round armhole, if it's too small, you can decide to come down a bit. So you measure. If for instance I have 7 inches, which I think is okay for a normal standard size person, but if it's somebody that is a plus size, you can decide to come down by 1 inch like this. You can decide to come down by 1 inch and then you do this. So I'll just use a different marker for you to understand. So you can decide to do this and then still maintain your curve. So with that, you still have your full that's your complete armhole line. So like I said, if your armhole is, if the size of the armhole is not enough, you can always come down by either 1 inch or 2 inch. So that's what I indicated here. So I'll be cutting it out now for you to see the shape of this trendy triangular hip dress. So the neck, I'll be leaving it like that. So you can see the shape of the dress. So guys, you can see it's really cheeky and just looks so beautiful and lovely. So I want you to give it a try. Even if you don't have fabric yet to do it, you can actually use a pattern paper to just give yours a try. Just try. It's always good to try out new things. Yeah, I actually advise that. So give it a try, and then you can drop a comment down for me if you actually did it and if it came out